Communities are building a movement, not a meme, not a moment, not a rebranding of the establishment, but a real people's movement emerging from the grassroots, from communities across the United States who are organizing to put an end to the corporate state and create the just and sustainable communities they envision. Communities facing fracking, fighting for affordable housing, working to stop factory farms, advocating for livable wages, working for free and fair elections, and many other issues affecting equity, health, safety, and welfare have recognized that these seemingly unrelated issues share something in common, that the people in the community lack the legal authority to determine their own future. A basic tenet of democracy. Community rights, as it has been called, is not your typical activism. Community rights is not about begging or pleading. Community rights is advancing, securing, and protecting both the rights of the people to democratically self-govern in order to create the healthy and just communities they envision, and recognizing the rights of nature to flourish and be healthy too.
They take care that when you turn control over to the local people, decisions that impact their local environment, they usually make really good decisions.
Community rights is moving from the understanding that our government and law itself has been designed to favor the wealthy few over the majority. Community rights understands that justice, true sustainability, and a vibrant future for people, communities, and nature ultimately cannot be found in our system of so-called American democracy, because democracy itself was deliberately left out. Community rights directly confronts the corporate state by moving first in the nation groundbreaking laws to protect rights. These include worker, environmental, and democratic rights, in addition to the rights of nature. With support from state-based community rights networks and from the Community Environmental Legal Defense Fund, community rights activists have had access to free and low-cost legal services, grassroots organizing guidance, and education tools to help inform and empower communities facing injustice. Over 200 communities in nearly a dozen states over the last 2 decades have been pushing the boundaries of law and governance to protect their communities and nature, and building a movement towards true democracy. The transformation from reformist to revolutionary often begins when a concerned community member or municipal official raises the alarm on an impending threat. These communities are frustrated by the barriers of the existing legal system, which is designed to limit rights to local self-government while protecting corporate interests over those of communities and nature. In other words, communities are told they can't stop harmful activities that state and federal law permit, and they also can't enact common sense policies to protect health and safety when those conflict with state and federal law. Communities have been deliberately stuck inside a box. This box, the box of law and governance, consists of forces that work against community self-determination. There is the thumb of state sealing preemption, state legislators enacting laws that deprive communities of their own rights, while at the same time protecting corporate interests. Next, there is the legal belief that nature and people are property. The effect has been, being that government and large corporations own the most property, is that they have the legal right to destroy nature, regardless of the consequences to people, plants, and animals. Another hammer wielded against communities is corporate privilege. Corporations claim rights that override local decision-making and the rights of people, whether the issue is gentrification, workers' rights, or protecting water from corporate control. And one of the biggest barriers is the allegiance so many activists have to regulatory agencies, as if they operate to protect us. This regulatory fallacy exposes that agencies like the NLRB or EPA don't actually protect people or prevent harm, but rather they authorize it under the guise of limiting the degree, speed, or breadth of human and environmental harm. It's going to take a grassroots level movement to secure and protect the rights of local self-government and the rights of nature in a manner that can overpower the goal of the endless production of more of the corporate state. The emerging community rights movement, through state-based community rights networks, has begun to be that counterforce, even at the level of working to change state constitutions to eliminate the legal doctrines and hammers that favor the wealthy minority over the majority. Through independent state-level coalitions in Pennsylvania, Washington, New Hampshire, Oregon, Ohio, and Colorado, the community rights revolution is expanding a little more each day. With enough people, in enough communities, in enough states working together, a people's movement built to secure community rights can create and enforce new laws and constitutions at the local, state, and federal level. These laws will ensure that the people living in communities are the ones making important decisions and policies that affect their health and safety, free from corporate interference and free from the constraints of unjust preemptive laws. Join the movement.